Pocket Change 104. Hey, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. Me and Trouble here, we're both starting new jobs. We've been doing 2 episodes a week. And then if you just joined us, you probably got like 10 episodes a week because we were popping them out, trying to make sure we got them out there for you guys so we can move forward. So what we're going to do is go down to 1 episode a week, and hopefully you guys will stick with us. We've been gaining subscribers. We're up to 126 subscribers. Thank you guys for
Ooh, yes, thank you
jumping
very
on the
much.
bandwagon. And cool, we moved it from my channel to its own channel. But we're going to go back down to 1 episode a week.
We don't want
Now,
to
one of
cut
our
out. We don't want to cut out pick or pass.
no, not
We're
at
gonna
all.
basically, guys. We've been talking about incorporating that into this, and we're gonna work on our time. We'll try not to. We'll try not to make it too long, but we don't. We know you guys really enjoy pick or pass. We also enjoy our regular podcast. But it is a timing thing. Right now, I'm in 2 different classes for my new job coming up and taking those, and got some state and federal exams I have to take. And Ben's is potentially going to be moving with his job.
A lot of moving parts here, but we want to keep doing this. I mean, I might put my store on vacation for a month or two while I move, but I will still be sourcing and talking about what we're doing with the reselling. It's nothing that I'm ever going to stop. It might be something that I stumble through for a month or two, but I'll have gripping content, I'm sure, with the new people I'm working with, just to bitch about them for a while.
Well, one thing about it is, hopefully on our next one, we will spend some time having the great reveal. So you won't see all this mess.
Oh, I thought we were going to do we stand up with the dick in the box and
No,
not that reveal.
family show, man.
Damn it! I keep forgetting family
I'm
show.
not sure that would work for me. It's like that one TikTok where you see the guy with the Pringles can, and I'm like, and I've been trying to calculate exactly how blessed you would have to be for that to happen, because that wouldn't work for me. But anyway, so
You can still have 2 Pringles in a Pringles can. Just saying.
yeah, okay, it'd have to be one of the snack packs from me.
No, you can have the big can. It just doesn't have to be full.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're talking about, but this got weird.
Anyway, we're gonna hopefully have the great reveal for the eBay office room here in the next week. Got sidetracked a little bit on it because I was planning on trying to do it this episode, but got sidetracked on it a little bit because many of you may not know, but we just had a huge, supposedly huge nor'easter blow into North Carolina. And so I had a lot of things I had to pull off of the eBay room and go do to make sure that the house was in as tip-top shape as it could be for the storm, including doing some sealing on the roof and getting my motorcycle finally winterized. Here's the thing: in North Carolina, a lot of guys will winterize their motorcycles in December. I usually choose not to do that because I have ridden my motorcycle on Christmas and it'd be 70 degrees. I've ridden it on January the 1st, it'd be 70 degrees. But for this, I was like, let me go ahead and winterize it and get it inside so it's not sitting out in the snow. It was a little bit of fun because by the time I got it ready for a spot for it to move into, it was already snowing and icing. That was a lot of fun. So anyway, there's a lot going on, guys, but we are planning on doing a reveal there. We are planning on combining the 2 podcasts to one for right now, and then we may break those back apart at a later date. We reserve the right to do that, and hopefully you guys won't be too mad at us if we do. We may end up replacing some of the things we normally talk about on our normal podcast just so we don't end up running for 2 hours.
Yeah. We don't want to have you bored.
But again, 125 of you subscribers, thank you so much. We're not monetized here. We don't do this for money. This is not what makes our living. We do this just because we love it, and 2, because we hope you're getting actually something out of it that you can use to become a better reseller, or something you can use to just have under your hat.
Yeah. If I move, then I won't be able to do this for a little while. Not the podcast, but eBay. But I've been watching a lot of videos about Amazon selling books. So I might try, because you just send those books in. So I might try an Amazon thing here. while I move.
That'd be something interesting. And like I said, we've seen a lot of popping up reselling dedicated sellers here lately to Macari and Poshmark. Although the Macari ones seem to be dated just a little bit, and it's new content. But I noticed that two of them that I stumbled on that are Macari only sellers, Ben's, it's like it's almost like they recorded their information and they build up a bunch of YouTube videos and now they're releasing them simultaneously or releasing them like what we did on the new
Yeah,
channel. And they're about 3 months behind because I was watching one and they were just now talking about, we don't know how these new rules are going to affect us. And they were talking about the rules we were talking about, you and I talked about 3 or 4 months ago. So
yeah.
I don't know. I've still not used Bonanza even. I am eBay only. I don't know about Amazon. I still buy some stuff on Amazon. You want to try Amazon? Go for it, man. Let us know how
I
it
think
works.
I might. I think if I move and I can't do this, I will do that. I can still go to the thrift store. I'll have to invest in one of those scanners, and then you scan the books, and then you just send them in. So I think there it's more of a volume thing than a big hitters. See,
Now we've got another announcement too. If we can get it worked out, we have actually Ben's and I have actually been invited onto another podcast. If we can get the time worked out and the time
yeah,
worked out to get on it, which will be awesome. Anytime we can team up with our friends and our buddies in this industry, we love doing it, and we love having guys on this show as well. We need a woman. We need to get a woman on here sometime, Ben. So we've had guys. We need to get a lady on here because, believe it or not, there are a lot of lady resellers out there as well.
you need to reach out to your friend Desert Sellers,
I didn't say she's my friend.
but just send her a note and say, "Hey, I love your stuff. Will you come on the podcast?"
Come on our podcast. I could.
Yeah, we probably get her.
I don't know. We could see. I don't know that she's ever done anything like that. We could see. Who knows? We're all in this together and we're all kind of in the same. That's the one of the great things. I'm going to shout out again Mike's podcast. You guys need, if you've not visited it yet, you need to go watch it. It's you're going to want to go to meetups. I want to go to one. I've not been to one yet. I fully admit that. But every time I hear about one and I hear about, it's like missing a family vacation. Hear about it and you're like, man, I wish I could have got off work, or man, I wish I could have gone. So I am definitely looking forward to trying to go to one and get it in the books.
We got to work that out this year. We can get you to one.
We're going to try. We're definitely going to try. Maybe I can figure out how to try to see if I can take volunteer hours.
Yeah, to go do that. And,
Yeah.
you can set up a booth and try to sell insurance.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So, how was your week? Let's talk about that.
My week, because everything has been just absolutely upside down. My week was good in some areas and terrible in others. Performance, I didn't have any sales over this past week. And honestly, I'm glad I didn't, to be honest, because I don't know how I could have done it, how I could have got it, how I could have shipped it out. Um, so I really didn't have any sales this week. But that, like I said, sometimes, honestly, sometimes folks, you're like, if I don't have any sales this week, that'd be a blessing. And the reason is because your life is just so busy now. I know full time resellers are all the time going, hey, I've got to sell, I've got to sell. And of course, if you're a full time reseller, you do. But Ben's and I are full time reluctant resellers right now
Exactly.
because our stores aren't big enough to support us in financially and because we have other things. And let's face it, if you don't have access to certain things like benefits and things like that, and you don't as a reseller, and if you're not retired so that you can get on Medicare, then it's got to go on your spouse. And I don't know about you, Benz, but the company my wife works for, they've started charging this fee. If you have your spouse on there, they charge an extra fee, not just the increase in premium, but also a fee for spouse. Now, children, they don't charge it. So my daughter could be on my wife's, no problem. But me, for some reason, no. And it may just be that she works for a company owned by the Chinese. I don't know, but it's crazy. And AAA did that. If your spouse worked for a company and was offered benefits, then they charged an extra fee. So there's all that now. And so you have to weigh that. That's part of the reason why Ben's and I are going, So give you a little bit more information. But my week was slow, no sales, which was actually great because I really need to concentrate on nailing down the new job, getting that ready, and getting the eBay office because folks, the eBay office is also going to double not only as my eBay office but my workspace as well because guess what? I've got a remote job now. So be working from home
Nice.
and it's really awesome. It's turned out to be really cool. In fact, I just put in the an internet drop hardline today. So that's going to be pretty cool. She might actually make this improve this. I don't know. See,
That's cool.
we will see. But yeah, so no sales this week. Long explanation for it, but thankful I didn't have any.
There you go. I didn't have a great week either. I $504.11, put $287 in my pocket. Can't complain about that. 23 items sold. Biggest item sold of the week. I sold one item for $45. Everything else was less than that. So it wasn't a very good week. It wasn't a very awful week, but a bunch of the smalls, right? A lot of cars, sold some cards, a lot of belt buckles, a few hats. Nothing to really report about it, but I haven't listed in a week and a half or more. Been busy, learning my new job and on autopilot.
And you and I both know, and folks, you'll forgive us because we're going to tell you again listing is where it's at. You have to be listing to have a great week, to have a good week.
Yes,
You
for
have to
sure.
be listing, and Ben's and I right now are not. Of course, if you're going to pick a time of the year to take off and not list, this is the time of the year to do it. Of course, I don't know. We look back at the stats, and my January last year was my second biggest month. So I
Yeah,
might be screwing myself in the boot
I think you're
here.
fine.
But
I think it has to do with what you were posting, so you'll be all right.
so you had low sales, you still had some sales.
Yeah. I still had sales.
How many items do you have out there now? Because that's always been a curious thing to me is what point do you get big enough to where it doesn't matter?
I mean,
That's always been the thing. What point do you get big enough to where you still have good number of sales, even though you're not listing? Because
I have 3,555 items.
never quite hit that 5,000.
No, I never did. Got lazy, got busy. Yeah, there's too many services out there for me. That's what happens. Start watching
Oh,
random stuff.
I'm curious. Why is it you list more when you're working?
I don't know. I did good though when I first got out of my job. I'm like, I got to make a living at this. 100 a day, percent doable.
And you did great. You made a lot of money too.
I did. I was making like 1,500 bucks a week. It's all about listing, and you got to have the right mindset. Right now, I'm spending more time redistributing I'm trying to get out of one storage unit, get down to one storage unit. Took a bunch of stuff to Goodwill and going through because so the one storage unit's about less than a quarter of the other storage unit in size. So I'm going trying to dig back far enough so I can put all that stuff in there, and then I can save that $140 a month for the other storage unit. But to do that, I got to go through the boxes and sort. And so every bit of time that I've had free for the last 3 weeks has been at the storage unit going through what I have.
So what I'm hearing, guys, is Ben's is going to host a weekend.
Come fill your car
We're
for
all
30
going to
bucks.
come do what he did where was it you did? Orlando? No, where was it? Where was it you went?
The 121.
No, where you went down to you stayed in Florida, but you went down to was it Dave's?
Oh yeah, to Dave's for the storage locker, and
Yeah,
then in there and we'll make a price.
yeah.
I have so much stuff. I need to get rid of it, but I don't want to just give it away. But I'm probably giving away about 30% so far of what I'm going through. A lot of I had a lot of VHS tapes that had no covers on them. I don't even want to try to sell those. I gave away 11 Christmas trees that were in my storage unit and a bunch of furniture, stuff that I bought in the early stages thinking I would do. I'm never going to ship a end table or a baker's rack, so I just gave them away.
Or Christmas trees.
Or Christmas trees. Those was the plan. I was thinking about starting an Etsy shop and making wreaths because my wife is buying these wreaths for like $100. I'm like, I can make that. And I made one. We use that for Christmas now. Don't have the time to do all the things that I thought I had the time to do.
Again, time is a fleeting commodity, but it also I've learned our time is what we make of it. So what do we invest our time in is what we get. Kind of
Hmm.
like Ben's and I've said, and you guys have heard us talk about. We used to spend our nights playing an online
Video game.
game, and it was a lot of fun. But we wasted money and time and effort, and we could have been doing something more fruitful with our time, and that's where eBay comes in. Now, Ben's and I continue to do eBay till the day we die. I don't know. If we get really good at it, we might quit. I hate to say it, dude. That seems to be our MO. If we get,
I figured it out. I'm moving on.
yeah, yeah. But now,
We'll start our own new channel, Panning for Gold. That's something I always wanted to try.
I have too. I've wanted a pad for gold too, but I want to go to. This is getting way off subject, folks. I want to go to no name hole in the wall creeks and see if where nobody else pans. Everybody goes to Alaska and pans in the rivers there. People love to go to Northern California and pan in the rivers there. But I want to go to like little no name creeks and just sit there and where you ain't got anybody you got to worry about. You ain't got to stake a claim. You ain't got none of that. You ask the just basically ask the property owner, "Can I do this here? And if I find anything, I'll have it with you." That's
There was a show that was on TV for maybe 2 years, maybe a year, I don't know. But the guy would just go to places and say, "Hey, I'm a treasure hunter. Can I like drag your pond?" Or he went to New York and found with a thing that looked at the ground and found an old outhouse and then cut up the cement and then dug the outhouse out. Found all kinds of cool stuff. It's like a big burly guy. I forget the name of that show, but that was a cool show. It lasted like one season.
yeah, because we watched this one show where they've tried to hunt for monsters in Alaska. And they started making up monsters for the second season, and it just died. Once it got to where they were going to have to start looking for Bigfoot again. It's crazy. But anyway, so your week was good. My week was, but I was very happy with it. What about ours? So, do you have a seller of the week? Because I obviously don't. So, do you have a seller of the week?
I don't have a seller of the week, but
A
a buyer
buyer
of
of
the
the
week.
week. Buyer. Of the, why did I say seller?
The show that I never it's like on, I don't know, maybe season 12, The Curse of Oak Island. Did you ever watch that? I was super into that for
Well, I was into it for probably 6 or 7 seasons, and then I got out of it because it's like they're never going to find it. There's no
exactly. It was, what are you doing?
the treasure that they are finding is the ratings that they're getting paid for.
Exactly. They're getting paid lots of money, those guys. But the best part is the two brothers read a Reader's Digest when they were kids, and they made it. The one brother's postal worker, the other one was some kind of like oil tycoon or something, and he took all his money invested in that. And then every episode's, ooh, we got it, and it's never anything. Every time. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm not going to watch that show again until they actually find the treasure. Screw
I
those guys.
think if they actually, if there is actually ever was treasure there, it was dug up by those two guys. That
Yeah,
one guy who was a slave and then became a free man, and they had all that property and all that
yeah.
success. I
It's already gone.
I think it's already gone. I think if there was treasure there, it's already gone. But I really, honestly, I don't know. That's they say treasure is off the coast of North Carolina on a little island called Blackbeard's Island. No, because I'm telling you, if he buried it on that island, he drowned there burying it because you can't dig
Yeah.
more than a foot before water starts gushing out of the hole.
All right. So I'm going to share my feedback of the week because it says excellent. But this person, they really went all out. You ready? Excellent. That was cool. That's a little thing. Is excellent. I like that. That's my feedback of the week because that took a lot of time. Or he has it on a Word document and he just copies and pastes it every
Well, this
time.
was
But I like it.
feedback of the week. We were talking about buyer of the week,
Oh, I know the feedback the
but
weeks before the buyer of the week. You
okay,
want
okay. Let's do feedback of the week. My feedback of the week comes from Mike. Mike actually purchased a watch from me. Excellent seller, one of the best. The moment I placed the order, seller kept me informed on the shipment. 3 messages. I received the package quickly and it was well packed. Quality items at a great price. I wholeheartedly recommend this seller. Check out Frugal Deals. You won't be sorry. Now, what makes me so happy about that, really. And we could say, well, Mike's such a nice guy. He's not going to leave you bad feedback anyway. And no, Mike would not leave bad feedback. But
Correct.
Mike did want to see how I did my operations because I talk about it a lot on here. And he was like, I want to see if he really does. And I did. I treated Mike just like a regular customer. I did send him my 3 messages, systematic placing them there. I did make sure the item was packaged appropriately. I didn't just say, oh, it's Mike and stuff it in a bag and send it out. He'll be happy with anything I send him. No, because here's the thing, you want to take pride in everything you're doing. So I made sure it was packaged just like I package everything. I made sure now one thing he asked me, he said, "Did you set the time on this watch before?" I said, "Yeah, I did." He said, "I noticed it was working." I said, "Yeah, I had to warn the post office because I've shipped one before, a watch that was wound and was ticking, and I got a note from the buyer saying, 'Hey, this looks like it was repackaged,' and it was. So apparently it was ticking, and they couldn't quite tell what it was, so they repackaged. They took it
Legit,
apart.
because they thought it was a
Yeah,
freaking bomb.
yeah, they took it apart. So I did have them notate the system. They didn't put any stickers on it, but Mike got it in the same packaging and everything, and it was good to
That's
get
cool.
feedback from Mike saying, "Hey, man, you really are doing a good job here. Keep it up," and getting some things that I can improve upon from him. Like he showed me his little post-it notes because I've been thinking about putting cards in with mine. Because Ben's, you do that. A lot of resellers do. They put little thank you notes in with it. And Mike's, I used to handwrite everyone. He said, now my hands don't let me do that. So I have a stamp. I stamp a post it note, put it in with it. Mike still prints out like the old eBay sellers used to do. And I thought, well, that might not be a bad idea. But he prints out basically the invoice and sends it with it. So it's a piece of paper. It doesn't weigh anything, folks. If you're worried about it
Yeah.
raising your cost of shipping, it's not gonna. You're not even going to add a tenth of an ounce. Just a couple things to improve upon, but I do appreciate that feedback, not just on the profile, but the feedback from Mike because he's been doing this a long time, guys. So
Yeah. He went and told you did a good job, and that's awesome.
that's another reason for plugging in on his channel and getting plugged into the meetups is you're going to meet people. We have a group text now that we use. I'm not going to expose it. Where we shoot the crap and we also encourage one another and we're
Exactly.
accountability and we're, hey, what are you doing now? Right now, my accountability is because I'm rushing to get this thing over here done by, it's got to be done by at least working by Monday. Yeah. But it was awesome to get that from Mike because he's been doing it for so long and getting not just feedback on here, but feedback there. So thanks, Mike. And I'm going to keep doing it. Anything you notice, man, send my way. That goes for all you guys that in the chat.
So your buyer of the week would be Mike Metco.
He didn't buy this week. He just got it this week. So
That's good enough, though.
feedback because I didn't sell anything this week according to eBay.
So my buyer of the week is
Soup Turtle.
Soup Turtle. That's a great name.
Very interesting names can appear on.
Yeah, Soup Turtle. I had turtle when I used to work at the restaurant when I was younger. They had turtle soup. That was good.
Does Soup Turtle have a store or just they're just
Just a buyer, no store.
cool?
And I have to admit to Mike and everybody out there that I broke down this week and bought chewing tobacco. So I was doing good. I went 4, 7, 6 weeks without it. Now I'm back to it.
I'm still vaping, as you can tell, guys.
I know,
Um,
but I'm trying not to. The hardest, my
I
wife was very upset with me. She was very upset with me. She's like, "You quit for like almost 2 months." And I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Why'd you buy it?" I said, "I stopped at a Wawa and then I was in line for a while. And then behind him, there's 700 different snuffs." And I'm like, "Oh," got excited. And then I paid for my pretzel because they have really good pretzels at Wawa if you ever go to Wawa. And then I was like, "Hey, give me 2 cans of number 53." I'm weak.
my thing is, I'm sitting here, my leg bouncing. I'm not one to sit down, guys. So sit down for these podcasts, and if they get long, it really kills me. Uh,
It's only 35 minutes in. It's not long.
oh, see, I would be up already. I don't sit down long.
Oh, your idea long is very short. I got you. Go ahead.
But I did buy some zeros, some level zeros.
That's good.
The idea is to get onto the zeros. Then I won't have the nicotine addiction because I'll
Yeah.
wean down off of that, and then I can just.
That's a good plan, and that's what I'm doing. Yeah, I bought 2 cans of snuff. I've used probably like 4 dips out of it. 1 right now because I'm like, "Hey, I'm just having a dip of snuff." But I am doing much less than I did, and I think I need to work my way out of nicotine. But
I was watching the Becker episode where
oh,
he
yeah,
tries to quit smoking.
he only watches Becker.
No, that's just with the wife at night because we don't have anything else to watch right now. But I was watching the Becker episode where he tries to quit smoking, and I really liked his trade for the smokes. He decided to. One of the ladies' model friends was in town for the weekend, and so he spent the weekend with her quite frequently rather than smoking. I'm like, that might work. Maybe that's how Mike quit smoking. I don't know.
Yeah.
Mike, you
Mm,
can let us know if that's how you quit smoking, buddy. You did, hey man. But anyway, I can just hear a kid now. Mommy, what's he talking about? Nothing. Anyway,
dancing horizontally.
let's get
Yeah,
back
it is
to the
good.
family.
Damn it, you take us down these horrible roads, and I'm embarrassed by it every time. But
Yes, you are. Yeah.
so what did you learn this week, my friend?
I've learned that it takes exactly about a month before you hit rock bottom if you're not listing. Because
Yeah,
this has been the first week I've really not sold anything or had any bites. It was a week that I didn't sell anything, but it carried over to the next week and I sold a couple things. It will eventually catch up with you if you're not listing. Again, the idea is to have the store going and have the organization going. Organization is everything. So
I agree,
I
I
didn't really
agree,
learn anything nuts and bolts.
yes. I had 2 blanks this week. I haven't had a blank. I went back and looked for 3 months. I haven't had a day that I didn't sell something. I had 2 days where I sold nothing.
And because
And I think part of it is because I have my job. I'm not on there doing a bunch of stuff and just checking stuff and always looking. So I think activity includes sending offers, clicking and relisting and doing all the things you do. But this week I truly was inactive other than shipping. And I think that hurt me.
Mike does say that you should always be checking to send your offers as soon as you can. And I honestly, I think that's a good idea because if they've watched it and you can send it,
No.
if you can catch it, then you have a greater chance of them. Oh yeah, I'll buy it now. It makes sense. Rather than 5 hours later, you're sending an offer and they've done forgot about it, and hopefully,
Yeah, moved on.
yeah. Or another seller has jumped in there with the same item and sent them an offer, and they took that one and forget yours. It happens. What did you learn this week? You didn't learn anything either, did you? Just admit it. We could replace this whole segment because we're just not learning anymore.
Yeah, we are still learning. We learn every day. I learned how to do credit card charges on the new system because I'm at a new job. I learned that
I'm not.
retail is way different than distribution. That's what I learned this week. There's a lot of things you got to do that I never had to deal with. I had to make deposit slips up. I haven't done a deposit slip since I owned my own business in probably 98. I learned a lot this week. I learned that if you oversleep on your third day of work, it's not good for your career. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Think I learned a lot of stuff this week.
And we're talking about specifically with eBay. I don't know that there's a whole lot. Once you get past about a year and a half, folks, I'm not sure there's a whole lot.
You can relearn things over and over again.
But you relearn things. And the costly lesson, if you really, I'm out of money now as far as my rebuilding my room. So thank God I've got pretty much everything bought up that I have to have. I want to make I've got a wood stove in that room and I really want to make a nice presentation of it, but that's going to have to be later down the road. It's just going to be cinder block. The wall where it's at is just going to be cinder block. That's all there is to it for right now, just like it was, because I don't have the money on the eBay account to buy the tile to go on the wall. So it is what it is. Although I'm really digging the purple, and you guys will know what I'm talking about.
I like the purple.
You guys will see, but I'm really digging the purple.
You built a Barney room. I like it.
It's a different shade, but it's a very calming purple. I like
Very cool.
calming colors. I like calming colors. But anyway, let's see. What's our next topic?
We can do some eBay news real quick.
Okay, let's do it. Those are usually the last thing we do. I don't guess we need to do any items since neither one of us are really listed. I did get up to 71 on the feedback now,
Nice.
so I'm moving slowly. I'm hoping to get 72 because I just had one delivered yesterday. So I'm going to be sending the final notice there to that person. Hey, it's delivered. How was everything? Hope it was all good. And maybe get 72.
Nice. All right. So, eBay news. I want to inform everybody that USPS has resumed mail to Canada as of January 6th, which was like 2 weeks ago. But if you were worried about that, you can now send stuff to Canada again. Mid November, at the end of mid December, Canadian Post had gone out on strike. That is all worked out. So now they're back to regular deliveries to Canada.
That's good news.
Yes.
I'm worried about our northern neighbors situation I was unaware of here over the last.
And Kevin Trudeau stepped
And
down.
then their prime minister just stepped
Yeah.
down, and I love the Canadian people. It's the only place in the world I've ever been where a guy hits a guy crossing the street and they both apologize to each other. In America, that would have been a fist fight right there in the street. It would have been something to watch, pop some popcorn, but instead it took me by surprise when a guy runs out in front of a car, and I don't know if he ran out in front. I wasn't judging that, but a guy got hit. He gets up and he's apologizing to the guy who's getting out of the car, and the guy getting out of the car is, "Are you all right, buddy? I'm so sorry I hit you." The other guy's, "No, buddy, it's my fault." I'm just like, wow, I am wowed by how nice Canadians really are. They are the nice people. But anyway, they're like Wisconsins. People from Wisconsin are so nice. Everybody I've ever met from Wisconsin is really nice. Anyway,
All right.
go on with our eBay news.
So the other thing about there's not a whole lot of eBay news. There's an eBay article I read about eBay account security issue surfaced after a typo by a new seller led to an account being linked to the wrong email address. So the whole article is long, and basically the key points are eBay verified an incorrect email address, granting access to the wrong person. So somebody got a hold of somebody's eBay account because the email addresses got messed
Wow.
up, right? So concerns it's a security risk. Somebody could mistakenly put the wrong email address in there that's very close to yours, type it wrong, and now they are getting your information. The other thing that I have for you guys is USPS offers a new same day and next day solution for volume sellers. Did you see that? They announced faster delivery option under the ground advantage and the USPS Connect.
I did get
Focusing,
word that they're
yeah,
offering a 2-day service,
yeah,
but it seemed like there was a requirement for how much you're actually
yeah. So it
sending.
requires it's for volume sellers. It reaches 87% of the U.S. population, anything that's within 150 miles of a USPS processing center. So has to be within 150 miles of one of their DCs. So USPS Connect, same day and next day delivery for regional shipping. The requirements are a minimum of 10 pieces a day to be able to use that service. So we're not there,
I won't be
but
there yet. Now, you could be there.
it's not 10 a day for me. Other people might be there. So if you are shipping 10 a day through USPS, you have the opportunity to use a service that's similar to ground,
That's going to be really
but
helpful to larger resellers.
yes.
It's going to give them
So
probably a little bit of an advantage. They're going to be able to say, I ship this many, so I'm going to offer this to my customers. My question was, and this was the thing I never got an answer to, is there going to be a eBay discount on this service? Because on USPS ground, we get a marked down because
Yes.
eBay is so huge, and that's why, folks, if you're a reseller, do yourself a favor and take advantage of the eBay shipping, because here's the thing: when you purchase it through eBay, you get it a little cheaper, and it automatically. But here's the big thing: it automatically loads everything, tracking, everything automatically loads for you. You don't have to manually input tracking. You don't do all that because it's just
The thing is, when we're buying our shipping, we're buying it on the eBay account. So there's got to be some way eBay can work with the USPS and make all of us able to use USPS Connect, because that's the problem when you run into an issue with a package is you've bought your shipping label through eBay. So you're not really shipping it yourself, you're using their service. So there's got to be some way they can integrate this into it, right? So 10 per day, well, there's a million people shipping on eBay. Let's see what they do. So USPS encourages businesses to explore tailored shipping solutions through its sales representatives or their website. So that definitely is if you are going straight to them. So I'm not sure if that would actually be cheaper than using priority through eBay with the 25, 28% off. But I thought that was interesting that they really are, the USPS is trying to figure out how to make a living, and they are working within their parameters to make sure that they are doing everything.
I think again, USPS not always. I'm not sure they're any more reliable or any less reliable. When we have a missed package, of course, they're the least reliable service out there.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I don't ship through them is art. I do not ship artwork through them. It is because my artwork, I generally package it a particular way. Ben's has a way he packages his particular, and they tend to not want the heavier packages and the larger packages on USPS ground. I'm tinkering with the idea of offering priority again, but nobody ever really took it when I offered it before. Buyers generally want as cheap as possible, and they're content with it being USPS ground advantage unless it's at Christmas time, which is why Ben's and I shut our stores down there for a little while. Went on vacation because didn't need any bad stuff. Anyway, what other news you got?
I don't, but I have a thing. I have a new
Here's a thing.
I have a thing. I have a thing. It's not a big thing, but it's a fun thing. So let's talk about it. So I'm going to ask you 10 commonly asked questions related to USPS shipping, and you give me your answer. And we'll see if you answer correctly.
Okay.
All right? Now, USPS, what are the different USPS mail classes?
Oh gosh, well, you got first class, you got second class, you got postcard. I mean, you got every day, every door. I don't know. I couldn't name them all. Hey, give me an ABC, and I can tell you if it is one, but I can't name them all.
Well, I'm just trying this out, right? So, what are the different classes? The answers are they offer several different classes, including first class mail, which is for letters, cards, small packages up to 13 ounces. They offer priority mail, which is items under 70 pounds that get delivered within 1 to 3 days. They have Priority Mail Express, which is guaranteed overnight delivery. They have USPS Ground Advantage,
Hmm.
and then they have Media Mail, which is for books, CDs, and other media. All right. So, how can I track my USPS package?
By going to USPS.com and entering in the tracking number. But you can
Correct.
do that again if you do it through eBay, folks. The buyer can track it right through eBay just by clicking on the numbers. It's a little different on a mobile platform, but
Are there any size and weight restrictions for USPS shipping?
yes, 70 pounds.
Yes. Yes, packages cannot exceed 70 pounds in most classes. And is there any size
I don't know.
overall?
4 feet. I don't know.
All right, so the combined length of a package cannot exceed 108 inches. The way that when I ran the building in California is we had a chain that was 108 inches, and we would take it and wrap it around the box long ways and then around this way. And if it was more than 108 inches, we knew we couldn't ship it.
Okay. All right.
Can you ship internationally through USPS?
Yes, you can.
What services do they offer?
Ship my box. Ship my pants.
I'm going to ship my pants. They have first class package international service. They have priority mail international, priority mail express international, and I like this one, global express
Yeah.
guaranteed. Never heard of that one.
I think that is so expensive. Nobody uses that.
Yeah, I've never even heard of it. I'm like, oh, global
I've
express
seen it
guarantee.
on the website.
How do I package a fragile item for USPS?
Very carefully, extremely careful, with a lot of padding.
The answer is use a sturdy box and plenty of cushion material like bubble wrap or peanuts.
A lot of cushion materials, and hope they don't
Make
run over it
sure,
with a truck.
yeah, and make sure you label your package fragile.
Make sure they don't run over it with a truck, or you'll be refunding their money when they knock the sheep off the little boy's shoulder.
What happens if my package is lost or damaged during shipping?
You can kiss your honey and goodbye because they can't find it. I mean,
For lost or damaged packages, you can file a claim on the USPS claims
and
page.
it will. You might
Ship-
hang it up if you. I have filed claims.
I have filed many claims. I have a dollar
Never
out of
got a
them.
dollar back. Never. Now UPS, I have. USPS, never.
The other one, can I schedule a package to pick up from my home?
Yes, you simply go online to USPS.com. I've done that before. I have
Yep.
actually, and I've had a couple packages that didn't have time to run them to the post office, knew they had to get out to meet the deadline for eBay, and I scheduled it. Now, I don't like that as well because here's the thing, you don't get a receipt saying you handed it to them.
Hmm. Yes, you can offer free package pickup service. But in my area, and you need to check in your area, I need to have at least one priority mail package, and they'll come for free. If I don't have a priority mail
It
package and
costs
I want
like
to ship,
$2 or $2.99 or something like that.
it costs me $23.45.
What? It don't cost
Yes.
me that much.
Yeah. Well,
But
Florida's limit.
without a priority package.
Why?
Nope. Scheduled to be picked up by your mail delivery person.
Yes, that is true. If you do schedule it for them to pick it up,
If you schedule it
yeah.
for it to be picked up by your mail delivery person, then it's always free no matter how many packages you got, as long as they don't exceed, again, the excessive, whatever, the length of the
Wait.
box and the weight.
Yeah. Oversize or weight. All right. Last question. You ready?
Yeah, bless the guy's poor heart that delivered me the socket you shipped. He was like, "Ugh."
Hey, they were nowhere near 70 pounds, so he needs to suck it up and do his damn job. That's all I'm saying. What do I do if the tracking says delivered, but I didn't receive the package?
You gotta report it. eBay, if you buy it from eBay, you just report it to eBay.
Okay. So what this thing says is first check your property. It's probably there. If not, check with your neighbors.
Thrown
They might have been confused on the
thrown in
address.
a bush.
Yes, if you still can't locate it, contact your local post office.
Yeah, my
If that doesn't work, submit a missing mail request on the USPS missing mail page. So if you go to the missing mail page, they will find it for you.
they will not find it.
Okay. Those are my commonly asked questions for USPS. I don't know. Trying to find new
Yeah, I
segments.
love
That
it.
was fun.
It's just, the thing about it is, folks, is you can powder a pig and put a dress on it. It's still a pig. Just telling
You put a lipstick on a pig
you,
and she's
you
pretty.
you get what you pay for. And
Exactly.
unfortunately, we do not have, we no longer have a great, reliable delivery service in this nation anymore. And I'm going to say this. When I was doing my own office and running my financial services office, I did everything DHL, and I never had a single problem. Some of you may say, "Oh, I had problems with DHL." I never had a single problem with DHL. Never. Everything got through. All
They died in the US. It's
they
huge in
didn't.
Europe.
They died in the US. They could not grab a hold. It's like Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Don't get me wrong, folks. You may love Blue Cross and Blue Shield, have a claim. You may hate them. But here's the thing. For so many years, this Blue Cross and Blue Shield has a stranglehold on every state that they operate in, and they've convinced everybody that they are the insurance. And to be honest, they are one of the worst insurance companies you will ever purchase health insurance from for all kinds of stuff. They don't have as many plans, and maybe that's a good thing. They have their places that they shine, but there's lots of other insurance companies that are better in other areas and better in certain things. Personally, I won't go into it. The U.S. Postal Service has a stranglehold on U.S. mail. They always will. The Then comes USPS or UPS and FedEx, and a lot of your freight gets shipped by them. Whereas DHL came in and they offered I never had a problem with them. Great service, great rates, but they never could catch on. And I think it's just because we as Americans are so programmed that to use these guys. That's why I'll say it. One of the worst trucks on the road for the last few years has been the Ford F 150, and yet it's still the top selling truck on the road because that's what Americans gravitate to is the F 150. As far as trucks go, it's not a terrible truck, but it has been had some really major issues over the last few years. Of course, now I'm not going into all the details, but some of the other brands have as well. But I think everything's getting cheaper, made cheaper, and I think that's why eBay's good because you can get quality, gently used items that are a whole lot better than buying new stuff. Riddle me this one. How come I've got two sledgehammers? Bought two ball peen sledgehammers. One is 24 ounces, and it's 24 ounces on the money, no matter what scale I lay it on. It was made in America back in the 40s, and it is 24 ounces on the money. But the 24 ounce that I got that's made, it was made, I think, in Europe just recently because I bought a really expensive one, and it's not. It's 22.9.
Metric. It's a metric
It
24 ounce.
probably is. That's probably the case, but I don't think it's ever going to be as good a hammer. It's not quite. It's not quite centered. It's not quite balanced. It is. I think as far
I don't know why somebody needs two sledgehammers. Hey, yeah, you're doing the John Henry with both hands.
sometimes you got to hit here and hit here. It just depends on what you're working on. But you work on big stuff, big diesel stuff, you're going to have two. And you're going to
I'm
have
not going to.
multiple sizes. But actually, what it was, I bought the one that I had, and a buddy of mine who was a tool restorer used my hammer one day. And then he came to work the next day and he had a whole different hammer for me. And it's, but that's part of the reason why we do eBay, guys. You find good quality items that were made yesteryear and you sell it on eBay. Yeah, we can sell the junk too. I'm a little bit upset that we're starting to see what I call the Amazon Chinese junk invading eBay, and it's dropping some of our prices on our stuff. But here's the thing: eventually, it's going to catch back up. So,
Right this week, or I like foam and soap. I don't know about you. You like foam and soap?
foam and soap.
Yeah, I don't like to wash my hand. I don't like
Oh, you don't like shell. You like the that
I
foams
like
up.
foam. Yeah, you push it and it comes out in foam.
Oh, okay.
It's half lathered before you start rubbing your hands. We bought these little things to put on
Yeah. Okay.
bed, right? So my wife was like, "Oh, we need to replace them because like we have them in the 4 bathrooms." And they all were like going, one went bad, and then the next one went bad. And we're like, oh, we need. So we went back to Amazon to rebuy them. And we couldn't find ones we liked. So we ended up buying them on eBay. And I'm like, try eBay because eBay's the place to buy stuff, not Amazon. We found some really nice ones on eBay, bought 4 new ones to replace them in the bathrooms. And they came to us in Amazon packaging. So somebody drop shipped them from Amazon to us. I'm like, what the heck? She said, "I bought that from eBay. I don't know why they have the smile. The smile, which really I think is just a dick." But
Yeah, you got it.
yeah, we got drop shipped. I'm like, "Oh, that's drop shippers there, man." And she's like, "No, maybe they sell to both. And they just have these bags." I'm like, "No, this is." It had an Amazon label on it.
Mm-hmm.
The thing was, we looked on Amazon first. We didn't see that item, which was crazy.
Now, here's the thing. Amazon doesn't show out of stock items. eBay will show an out of stock item, whereas Amazon doesn't. But anyway, so if you put in there that you got 12 and it sells out, your
Sure.
ad's completely gone.
Yeah, and maybe
But
that's why. It's like, wow, these
no, I
are
don't get soap.
definitely a drop ship item from Amazon.
We don't do the foaming soap in my house. We've got the little squirt dispensers and we buy the big jug, fill them back up. That's what you're getting in my house. So,
I have a big jug that I pour in there that's foaming because I prefer foaming soap.
yeah, but you don't have to have any special apparatus at my house. It
Do
squirt and you're
because
good to
they
go.
broke. Water was just coming out of my hand, and this is not good. I don't want liquid. I want foam. Damn it,
I like the gel. Good to go. I just, but it took me a minute for what she's talking about.
foam soap. Yeah, I like foam and
Do you
soap.
not have the? So are you going to buy the blowers and put them in your bathroom too? No towels, just
No, I don't want a Russian bride.
okay. That went over my head.
Blower.
I'm talking about the what you see in McDonald's bathrooms because they're too cheap to buy towels. Those things they tested are dirtier.
This thing
I'm talking about we do things that we shouldn't do on eBay. You will buy okay, so like me with all this priority boxes.
Yeah.
You better get ready. I didn't know I way over ordered, but here's the thing. Now they're just trash. I'm not going to take them back. I'm not going to bother to spend gas to take them back. But if you, one thing I did learn a while back, and I don't know if we've talked about this or not, if you do that priority shipping, it does not ship it to the eBay hub. It ships it directly to them. So I'm like, no, I would rather refund you some money and ship it to the eBay hub because once it gets to the eBay hub, from there to the international customer, it is eBay's problem. See,
All right.
there's another thing, folks, is you don't create problems for yourself. I've had to ship stuff out of country before into other countries on my own and literally got blackmailed.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I got blackmailed in a European country. So I would rather it be eBay's problem. So I don't ship, but a lot of your, I've noticed a lot of your international customers I've dealt with, would they prefer to buy it USPS priority, international priority, and it costs them a fortune more, and it doesn't get there any quicker. Maybe it
Yeah.
does. So that one lady, bless her heart, that bought a pair of pants from me in London, and it took 3 months for her to get this little pair of leggings that weighed
Yeah.
nothing. I was like, bless your heart. And I even sent her a message. She's like, it's to be expected. I'm like, okay.
She was fine with it.
Yeah, she was. She's, I would do this all the time. I guess Americans are more impatient. I don't know. But except for your guy in Puerto Rico, he was very impatient. Wasn't it Puerto Rico or somewhere?
Yes.
He was,
That guy bought it in Puerto Rico and he paid for the cheapest shipping service and then was upset it took 14 days to get to Puerto Rico. I can't help that. I shipped it the next
when you
day.
pay for it to come by rowboat, man. It's
Exactly.
gonna take-
If you want, yeah.
but anyway, that's all we've got tonight.
I got some tips to maximize your success on eBay. I asked Chat GTP,
Oh boy.
what are the tips that you need to know? All right. So, tip number one, research trending items. Use eBay trending items or tools like Terapeak to identify high demand products.
Maybe we should.
Number
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I asked him, give me 4 tips. I'm going to end the show with it. All right. Number two, target niche markets. Cater to specific audiences of interest. Another thing to look into is eco friendly products or rare collectibles.
No.
Yeah, yeah, he's smart. Optimize your listing. Use high quality images, clear titles, and detailed description with relevant keywords. And number 4, offer competitive prices. Check the solds, make sure you're within the limit of what they've been selling for, and price your products competitively.
Wow.
There's your 4 tips on
Wow.
per Chat GPT.
As if we didn't already know all.
Yeah, there was nothing fantastic there.
But anyway, folks, you've been fantastic. Thanks for spending this time with us. And keep liking and subscribe and tell all your friends. We want to get as much of this out there as possible because, again, we try to focus our show. I know we get off chasing some rabbits sometimes. We try to focus our show on helping you not make the same mistakes we make or copying the things we actually stumble on that do well.
Exactly. If we know something, we'll pass it on to you. If we know we did something stupid,
We'll pass
we're
it on
not
to
against, we're not against telling you. All right. Hey, thanks for stopping by. This has been Pocket Change.
Reselling Podcast.
Freestyle Podcast, episode 104. Have a wonderful week. See you.